गुड मॉर्निंग फैमिली, कैसे हो आप सब। मैं हूँ शॉप पे। क्या बोलते हो आप लोग? ब्लॉग कैसा लग रहा है मेरा कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताना मुझे। और काफ़ी दिनों बाद मैं अपने दोस्त से मिलने जाऊंगा आज। मोहित शर्मा जिसका नाम है, आज मैं उससे मिलने जाऊंगा और काफ़ी अच्छे अच्छे व्लॉग्स बनाने वाला हूँ मैं। एकदम ज़ोरों शोरों में अपन स्टार्ट करेंगे ब्लॉगिंग। पर सपोर्ट करना मुझे, और अगर कुछ नहीं बराबर है या कुछ चेंजेस करना है या कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट करना है तो मुझे ज़रूर शेयर करना। और ये मेरा मोबाइल शॉप एसेसरीज़ का बिज़नेस है, तो आज मैं यहीं पे बैठ के लाइव आया हूँ। तो अभी तक अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना और लाइक का बटन दबा देना। और अभी मैं फ़िलहाल ये देख रहा हूँ, एक यूट्यूब पे वीडियो देख रहा हूँ, यू ओनली नीड 5 years टू रिटायर अर्ली। अब पता नहीं, लेकिन ये वीडियोस देखने के बाद है ना, मतलब इस वीडियोस में ना, ऐसी सारी वीडियोस में देखते रहता हूँ। इन वीडियोस में ना कोई एक चीज़ ऐसी मिलती है ना जो आपको एक ऐसी रहती है ना, मतलब कि हाँ ये सीख मैं अपने नोट पैड में ऐड करके रख लेता हूँ तो ये मुझे आगे काम आएगा। कुछ एक चीज़ सीखने मिल जाती है कोई कोई वीडियोस में, तो देखते रहने का और मोटिवेट रहने का, क्योंकि मोबाइल को भी चार्जर की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, तो अपने आप को भी मोटिवेशन की ज़रूरत पड़ती है। आप मोटिवेशन देखते रहोगे तभी आपको मोटिवेट होने का ये होएगा। तो कंटिन्यू करते हैं, मैं वॉच करता हूँ वीडियो, अगर कोई लाइव में आता है तो हम उससे चिट चैट करेंगे। चलिए शुरू करते हैं।
And start asking what happens if you keep doing this for many years without interruption. Emotionally, these first 2 years are rough. You feel like you are always saying no. No to new toys, no to pointless upgrades, no to keeping up with people flashing their lifestyle. You look normal from the outside, but very different inside. What you are really doing is planting a forest. At first, it is just one seed, then a few seedlings. Above the ground, it looks like almost nothing. Beneath the surface, roots are spreading, intertwining, and preparing for explosive growth later. Why 2 years and not 1 or 5? Because compounding needs enough time for your first profits to start reinforcing themselves, but not so long that you lose motivation. 2 years is where discipline and visible reward meet in the middle. After 2 years of consistent investing, something clicks. Contributing is no longer a struggle of willpower. It becomes part of your identity. You see yourself as an investor, not just an employee. You feel wrong when you skip a month. You stop asking whether you can afford to invest. You start asking what you can trim so you can invest more. That is the power of milestone one. The math is important, but the identity shift is what keeps you in the game. So milestone one is simple. 2 years to build the habit, to prove to yourself that compounding is real, and to survive the invisible years without quitting. Once you cross that line, you are ready for something much more exciting. Now we enter stage 2, the next 3 years. I call this milestone 2 the acceleration phase. This is where your snowball stops being a cute little ball and starts turning into something heavy, rolling down a steep hill. At this point, you are still contributing, but something new is happening. Your returns are growing faster than before. The gains from year 3 begin to compete with everything you earned during the first 2 years combined. That is not an illusion. Here is why. Every dollar of profit is now a tiny worker that never sleeps and never asks for a raise. If your portfolio earned $500 in profit earlier, those $500 now earn at the same rate as your original
You don't create wealth by grinding harder. True wealth emerges from building systems that work tirelessly in your place. Most people remain trapped in a repetitive cycle. Wake up, work, collect a paycheck, restart tomorrow. This routine feels standard, even responsible, yet a quiet inner voice suggests something deeper is missing. Real wealth isn't about endless hustle. It's about creating assets that generate income while you're not working. These are silent machines you design once, but benefit from indefinitely. They don't chase money, they construct engines. Engines that generate income while sleeping, resting, living. These aren't theoretical concepts. but timeless strategies for building assets that transcend your personal effort and time. The richest people view time, money, and opportunity differently. They recognize how systems can multiply effort, how small beginnings transform into powerful income streams, and how personal skills, ideas, and habits can become perpetual financial generators. A pivotal moment exists in everyone's life, a subtle realization that the current path isn't sustainable. Perhaps it surfaces during a late night after work, a draining lunch break, or that silent morning when the alarm sounds and your body moves before your spirit awakens. It's the moment you recognize you're not living, but recycling the same day endlessly. Society conditions us to believe income requires constant physical presence. Show up, clock in, work hard, hope for advancement. But this approach fundamentally misunderstands wealth creation. Your income shouldn't depend solely on your personal labor, but on intelligent, self-sustaining mechanisms. By understanding these principles, you'll transition from merely working to strategically building. You'll learn to create assets that buy back your time, liberate you from perpetual work pressure, and generate income independent of your direct involvement. This isn't just about understanding wealth, it's about experiencing and implementing it, systematically constructing financial freedom one strategic
Good morning,
asset
guys.
at a
Good morning,
time.
guys. Subscribe the
If you're
channel
physically present, your freedom is borrowed, not owned.
and comment.
Real
comment.
wealth begins
Let's
with
have
a
chit chat.
simple yet profound shift. When you stop seeing yourself as the source of income and start seeing yourself as the architect of systems, you break free. What happens if most people stop working for just 1 month? Everything collapses. Rent, bills, debt, obligations keep rolling in. Life doesn't pause because you need a break. Millions live inside this silent prison, defending it with phrases like, "That's just how life is. I need stability. I can't take risks." But what if the greatest risk is staying exactly where you are? The wealthy see the world differently. Where most people see a job, they see a temporary stepping stone. Where most see income, they see leverage. Where most see effort, they see opportunity for replacement and automation. They understand a critical truth. Your time is too precious to spend on tasks a system, tool, or machine could do. You weren't born to exchange life hours for just enough money to survive. You were born to create, to design, to build something that lives beyond your physical presence. But before building assets, you must confront a deeper reality. How much of your current identity is tied to earning? For most people, the trap isn't financial. It's psychological. We grow up believing hard work equals building a life. But hard work alone never drives wealth. If it did, the hardest working people would be the richest. They are not. Effort without leverage becomes exhaustion, and exhaustion is a silent thief. It steals creativity, clarity, and the desire to dream bigger, think longer, and design wisely. Wealthy people protect their time more fiercely than money, because money can be regained, but time never returns. When you understand this, a new perspective opens. The purpose of work is not to earn, but to build engines that will earn for you later. Liberation doesn't mean quitting your job or rejecting responsibility. It means detaching your survival from your labor. Every successful person, every system builder, every creator reaches a pivotal moment when they declare, "I won't trade my lifetime for income anymore." They understand something most people miss. Income tied to your presence is always temporary. Income designed around your systems becomes permanent. Life offers two paths. On the first path, you work for money. Your earnings directly reflect your hours, energy, and availability. When you stop, your income stops. The second path flips this dynamic. Money works for you. Your time becomes the seed, your systems the soil, your assets the trees. You build once, and fruits keep returning season after season. Whether you're working, resting, traveling, or sleeping, the machine continues generating income. Most people remain on the first path not due to lack of intelligence, but lack of awareness. No one teaches them they can switch paths. No one explains that income isn't something you chase, it's something you build. Breaking free starts with a transformative question. What if my time wasn't the source of my income, but its architect? This question can fundamentally shift your life's trajectory. You begin thinking longer, slower, smarter. Suddenly, opportunities become visible, skills that can become products, knowledge that can transform into assets, ideas that can develop into systems, platforms that can automate work. The world has changed dramatically. Technology has democratized creation. You no longer need permission, capital, or prestige to build something enduring. Anyone can become an asset builder by learning to think like one. This journey starts by separating your value from your labor, your identity from productivity, your income from personal presence. In that moment, you stop being controlled by the clock and become its master. This is the first step toward a freedom sensed in quiet mental corners, a freedom built on structure, ownership, and strategic design, not just effort and survival. Most people chase income by working harder, longer, and sacrificing more. They believe more effort equals more money. But this approach has limits. We're constrained by 24 hours, finite energy, and mental bandwidth. Effort might help you survive, but systems build wealth. A system is anything that continues producing results long after the initial work. It could be a business, content, property, digital product, automated service, investment portfolio, or compounding habits. The key is continuity, something that works even when you're not. Wealthy individuals understand money doesn't flow to the hardest worker, but to those who build the smartest structures. Consider a farmer. He can spend days carrying water buckets to his field, or build an irrigation system that flows forever. Most people carry buckets. The wealthy build pipelines. Many avoid this approach because it challenges their comfort zone. Your current life reflects your existing systems, or lack thereof. If everything falls apart when you stop working, you're powered by effort, not design. And effort, however admirable, remains temporary. Systems introduce leverage, the ability to create more output than input. This is the silent engine behind every fortune. A YouTube video earning for years, a rental property generating passive income, a digital product selling automatically, an investment compounding independently. These are leverage in action. Leverage transforms your decisions into workers, ideas into employees, and creativity into engines. The wealthiest people aren't wealthy because they work harder, but because they design smarter systems that work for them. Wealthy people leverage systems, not just effort. Most people are stuck chasing immediate results because no one showed them another path. Schools, jobs, and society continuously praise hard work, but the world actually rewards systems. An employee thinks in hours. An entrepreneur thinks in assets. An investor thinks in compounding. The wealthy think in decades. While effort provides instant gratification, systems create long-term growth. People cling to effort like a lifeline, even when it slowly depletes their potential. Here's the critical truth. If your income depends on your personal effort, you're always limited. But when your income is tied to systems, you can grow beyond your current constraints. Time is the great equalizer. Everyone gets 24 hours daily, yet some people feel spacious and calm, while others feel overwhelmed. The difference? Systems. Systems create time. Systems multiply time. Systems protect time. Imagine parts of your life running automatically. Income, content, investments, distribution, marketing, while others constantly react. You're building a life that responds for you. Wealth isn't about luxury. It's about relief. Relief from pressure, fear, and constant hustle. Systems transform life from survival to sovereignty. Wealth builders shift from labor to architecture. To build wealth, stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a designer. Workers ask, how much can I earn today? Designers ask, what can I build today that will earn for me every day after? Workers think in tasks.
Hello.
Designers think in systems. Workers earn once. Designers earn forever. This shift requires only
Good morning.
awareness, not genius or privilege. Once you view the world through systems, you'll see them everywhere. Apps, franchises, online courses, automated stores, successful creators, investment portfolios. The world runs on systems. You just haven't been building them. You don't need millions, degrees, or permission to build systems. All you need is time, consistency, and the courage to start small. Simple systems can take many forms.
मेरी आईडी
A
सब्सक्राइब
digital
कर दो
product that sells
gamer
automatically.
83
A YouTube channel earning from 1 or
ओके
2
भाई
videos a
मेरी कोई भी
week.
लॉन्ग वीडियो पे
A
जाके
blog
कमेंट कर
collecting
देना मैं
traffic
वहाँ
for
से
years.
कर
An
दूंगा
email
सब्सक्राइब
list
नो
selling
प्रॉब्लम
while you
आप भी
sleep.
सब्सक्राइब कर
An
देना मेरा
investment
चैनल
portfolio growing quietly. Or a habit system compounding your skills. These are small machines. But over time, small machines become massive engines. People often misjudge what they can
कहाँ
build
से
in
हो
a
आप
year of
कमेंट करो
consistent system design, while overestimating potential earnings from a single day of effort. This is why systems win. The uncomfortable truth about systems is that they require letting go of control. Effort feels safe because you're directly involved, but systems seem uncertain since they must operate without your constant intervention. Freedom, however, demands release. You cannot simultaneously hold and control everything. Let go of beliefs that constrain you. The idea that you must do everything yourself, that income must be instantaneous, that hard work alone leads to wealth. When you release these beliefs, you become free to create. You're no longer just a worker, but a builder. This isn't about working less, but working differently. Work with intention and foresight. Create things that continue functioning without your direct involvement. Once your life runs on systems rather than pure effort, everything transforms. Your days feel lighter, choices expand, the future becomes clearer, and long-carried pressure dissolves. This is the first law of wealth. Effort creates moments, systems create freedom. Time is the most mysterious currency in human life. Everyone has it, everyone spends it, but only a few learn to use it advantageously. Most people measure time in hours. The wealthy measure time in outcomes. Most
ओके भाई
ask,
मैं देख लूँगा
how long
लाइव
will this
खत्म होने के
take?
बाद
The
उसके
wealthy
बाद मैं
ask,
आपको कमेंट
how
कर लाइव भी
long
दे
will this
दूंगा और प्लस
pay?
सब्सक्राइब भी कर दूंगा नो
Most trade
प्रॉब्लम
time for money. The
आप भी
wealthy
सपोर्ट
trade
करना
time
मुझे
for systems. This subtle yet
कहाँ
profound
से हो
shift
आप
creates
कमेंट
the
करो
invisible divide between survival and accumulated freedom. Time isn't something you have, it's something you design. Time is a currency that depletes without return. Unlike money, which can be regained or replaced, time vanishes silently, unnoticed by most. Every hour not invested in compounding growth is an hour lost forever, gone with its hidden potential for creation, learning, design, and expansion. The fundamental difference between financial stagnation and creation lies in how people approach time. Most individuals try to
कहाँ
control
से हो आप
time
मुझसे
by
भाई
cramming more tasks into their day, believing that more work, more hustle, and more grinding will yield results. But this approach only breeds exhaustion, not opportunity. Wealthy individuals operate differently. They don't race against the clock. They expand what the clock can deliver. A worker mindset earns only when physically present, limiting 24 hours to 24 hours of value. In contrast, a builder's mindset can transform a single hour into hundreds of hours of output through systems, content, automation, investments, and intellectual property. The goal isn't to manage time, but to free it. Hard work isn't the danger. Stagnant tasks are. Most people live in a repetitive loop. Today's work, today's pay, tomorrow's pressure. They never examine the cost of this cycle. Tasks that die the moment you stop doing them. Tasks that pay only once. Trap people in temporary results. The wealthy understand a crucial truth. A life powered by tasks can never create freedom. Only systems can. Every year spent working without building means being paid once. Every year spent constructing systems means being paid forever. This explains why some people work decades without advancing. They're trading time instead of multiplying it. This mindset shift transforms your relationship with time. Instead of asking, how much can I earn today? The focus becomes, what can I build today that continues earning even when I sleep? It's about living outside time's boundaries, aging into leverage rather than exhaustion. Some people spend years working strategically, ultimately unlocking lifetime independence. This isn't about luck. It's about understanding how time truly works. Compounding isn't just a financial concept. Its real power emerges when you invest time into systems that grow exponentially. Consider how a single hour can transform your future. Recording a YouTube video might generate income 1,000 times longer than its creation. Learning a valuable skill could become a lifelong income engine. And setting up automation can save hundreds of future hours. The critical difference lies in perspective. Wealthy individuals don't simply
we
ask,
can do something.
what does
We
this
can do
hour
it.
pay? Instead, they ask, what does this hour build? This fundamental shift can completely alter your life's trajectory. Most people dramatically misunderstand time's potential. They believe they're choosing stability by waiting, but they're actually choosing stagnation. Delaying asset building isn't just about losing time, it's about losing future freedom's compounding potential. With every month you hesitate to invest, future returns shrink. Every day you avoid creating systems, your potential time contracts. Each year you postpone developing a digital asset or personal brand, your reach diminishes. The clock isn't working against you, but it certainly isn't waiting. Most individuals overestimate daily achievements and underestimate yearly potential. Wealthy people reverse this thinking, mastering patience, repetition, and consistency. The quiet architects of freedom. Wealth cannot emerge from constant urgency. A worker's life drowns in deadlines, tasks, and pressures. A builder's life cultivates intention, strategy, design, and systematic investment. Prosperity springs from deliberate choices, not reactive responses. Breaking free from urgency represents the first step toward reclaiming your time. Wealthy mindsets protect focus, decline distractions, and choose depth over noise. They think in decades, not days. Where a poor mindset sees the present as a burden, a wealthy perspective sees it as a seed of potential. Your future isn't determined by what you do today, but by the systems and foundations you're building right now. The journey to wealth begins with understanding time. It's not about having more hours, but owning the ones you have. Wealthy people seem calm, not because of money, but because of their relationship with time. Every hour they invest today expands their freedom tomorrow. When you shift from consuming time to investing it, something profound happens. You start feeling different. The investment feels calmer, more intentional. It's like planting something alive that will grow beyond you and eventually take care of you. This moment is pivotal for anyone building wealth. Time isn't your enemy. It's the raw material of wealth. How you use, invest, and protect it determines the life you'll live. You can always make more money, but time is finite. So invest your time in building things that generate more money, not things that consume more of your time. Most people fail at wealth building, not because they lack effort, but because they don't understand what to build. They confuse busyness with progress, consumption with ownership, status with stability. They buy shiny objects, hoping these will produce value. But a flashy liability remains just that, a liability. True assets work silently and faithfully. They don't scream for
खराब है मशीन.
attention or impress strangers. Understanding wealth means grasping a simple yet profound equation.
हाँ लेकिन मशीन ही
An
खराब है ना, तो
asset
कुछ
puts
कर नहीं
money into
सकता
your
मैं.
life. while a liability takes money out. This sounds straightforward, but its simplicity is deceptive. The essence of an asset goes beyond textbook definitions. It's about the energy it carries, the purpose it serves, and the freedom it creates. Your new relationship with time starts now. You'll see time differently, recognizing its cost, leverage, and power to either trap or liberate you. Wealth is not about what looks good. It's about understanding how money moves. Assets and liabilities aren't defined by appearance, but by direction. Money can flow toward you or away from you. A house, a car, or even a small subscription can either build or drain your wealth. The key is tracking where your money goes after you acquire something. Why do people confuse liabilities with assets? First, society sells comfort instead of freedom. People buy things that make them feel good. Right now, not things that will set them free later. Second, liabilities are loud and visible. A flashy car turns heads. A luxury phone impresses everyone. Assets, however, are quiet. A rental property or a dividend portfolio doesn't scream, it whispers. Wealthy people choose these whispers over loud purchases. The third reason is emotional decision-making. People buy upgrades for validation. They chase trends to build identity. They seek convenience as an escape. But true assets aren't built on impulse or temporary pleasure. They're constructed through clarity and long-term thinking. Cash flow assets consistently send money to you through rental properties, dividend stocks, digital products, online courses, or intellectual property. This income arrives whether you're working, sleeping, or traveling. The second category includes assets that appreciate over time. Real estate, index funds, rare collectibles, and well-positioned digital brands grow in value. This appreciation is a silent multiplier that transforms ordinary people into long-term owners. Understanding these principles shifts how you see financial opportunities. It's not about price tags, but about value flows. Salaries create fear of tomorrow. Cash-flowing assets breed confidence in every season. This perspective doesn't just change finances, it changes how you view the world. Wealth becomes predictable, repeatable, and scalable when you understand the true nature of assets. Wealth isn't just about making money. It's about protecting and growing what you've built. The equation of forever money involves three key elements: cash flow, appreciation, and protection. Cash flow gives you freedom. Appreciation creates growth. Protection ensures survival. Most people misunderstand this fundamental principle. They don't need to develop all three aspects simultaneously. Instead, focus on cash-flowing assets first. They're the engine that powers and funds the other two. The real barrier isn't a lack of resources, but a lack of identity. The wealthy see things differently. They view every dollar as a decision, every skill as potential, and every idea as raw material. Their guiding questions are, what can I turn this into? How can I make this work for me? How do I multiply this instead of spending it? Protection is an often overlooked form of wealth. Think of assets that stabilize and safeguard your money: gold, government bonds, cash reserves, insurance, diversified funds, legal structures, and trusts. These aren't necessarily fast-growing, but they shield what you've accumulated. No empire survives without walls and defenses. The core principle of true wealth is simple: own more than you earn. Ownership comes in many forms: a system, a process, a platform, a product, a skill, intellectual property, or distribution channels. Money isn't meant to be held, it's meant to be deployed. When you shift your identity, your behavior changes. The wealthy understand that ownership pays you forever and frees you from trading time for money. Your life becomes a pursuit of ownership, not income. Instead of asking, how do I make more money? You start asking, what can I build? that keeps paying me. This mindset separates financial freedom from financial dependence. Every purchase becomes an opportunity for strategic thinking. Your goal is to transform every resource into something that works for you, continuously and consistently. Ask yourself, does this feed me or drain me? Will this still matter in 10 years? Is this something I will own or something that will own me? Does this give me time or take my time? These questions serve as a compass, steering you away from fleeting excitement toward lasting prosperity. This is how wealthy people think, choose, and maintain their wealth. Wealth isn't about luck, it's a philosophy, with assets as its physical manifestation. Understanding assets isn't the end, it's just the beginning. Contrary to popular belief, most people assume wealth starts with abundance. Morris sees it differently. Wealth actually begins with a decision, not a dollar. Every person who eventually builds freedom starts from a point of having less than enough but chooses to begin anyway. Wealth doesn't belong to the privileged. It belongs to the persistent. Persistence starts with small actions repeated consistently, even when they seem too simple to matter. Over months and years, these actions become the architecture of a financial life that feels effortless and expansive. This is about how ordinary people with ordinary incomes create extraordinary futures, not through risky bets or lucky breaks, but through intentional design and the courage to start exactly where they are. You don't need more money. You need a better strategy. People often delay investing, starting a business, or building assets, waiting for perfect conditions that never arrive. Those who build wealth understand a critical truth. You don't wait until you're ready. You become ready by beginning. If your income is small, your decisions matter more. If your resources are limited, your discipline becomes priceless. If your time is tight, your consistency becomes your superpower. Starting small is not a limitation, but the very foundation of growth. Seeds may look insignificant, yet they contain entire forests waiting to emerge. Your first $10 saved, your first $20 invested, your first digital product, or your first attention-grabbing online post all carry immense potential. Money doesn't care about quantity, it responds to direction. Wealthy individuals don't focus on their current amount but on how to multiply what they have. While the average person spends for immediate comfort, those building wealth invest for long-term expansion. Wealth creation unfolds in three natural stages that apply universally regardless of income level. Initially, when capital is scarce, creativity becomes your primary currency. This first stage involves building assets through time, creating content, writing guides, offering freelance services, starting blogs, growing online audiences, or developing digital products. These efforts cost little, but can expand infinitely with consistent effort. Your time becomes equity, creativity becomes investment, and persistence becomes compounding. As income becomes modest, the second stage emerges, automating wealth. Here, you consistently contribute to index funds, purchase fractional real estate shares, buy dividend stocks, establish emergency reserves, or reinvest digital work earnings into better tools. Small, regular contributions of $20 or $50 weekly become powerful through uninterrupted rhythm. Consistency always trumps intensity. The third stage begins with income growth, shifting from accumulation to acceleration. You might acquire rental properties, expand online businesses, create high-value digital products, strengthen personal brands, outsource tasks, and automate larger system components. Your initial small steps now reveal their hidden strength, transforming into an unstoppable growth snowball. People often underestimate compounding's power because its progress feels invisible. There are no fireworks or instant rewards. Compounding isn't designed to excite you today, but to liberate you tomorrow. A simple $25 saved today can become something remarkable with time and strategic direction. Small steps might seem insignificant, but They're actually the gateway to lasting wealth. The world's most powerful forces often start quietly, yet most people never begin because small beginnings feel pointless. Consider how wealth truly develops. It's not about having massive resources right away. A digital empire can start with a single post. A real estate journey begins with one disciplined savings habit. A business can emerge from mastering one skill. A retirement fund can grow from consistently investing just $20. The average person fails not because of circumstances, but because of impatience. They crave the rewards of Chapter 20 while still living in Chapter 1. Wealth doesn't reward impatience. It rewards consistency and steady progress. Your existing resources are powerful tools. Your phone can become a studio. Your laptop, a production house. A skill can transform into a service. Your voice can build a brand. Knowledge can become a digital product. Discipline can generate generational wealth. The key is not perfection, but progress. Perfection suffocates action, while imperfect steps compound over time. Starting small creates space to learn, adjust, and improve. Everything remarkable begins humbly. Here's the profound truth. Your first asset isn't what you create or invest in. It's who you become during the process. The moment you start building, even at the smallest scale, you transform your identity. You become someone who invests, creates, owns, thinks, long-term, plants, seeds, and waits patiently. This personal transformation is the real foundation of wealth. Money simply follows. You're no longer waiting, you're beginning. And beginning is the most powerful financial decision you can make. Small isn't insignificant. Small is strategic. Small is the doorway to forever wealth. You don't need more money to build assets. You need direction, structure, rhythm, and the courage to start now with exactly what you have. Wealth isn't created by the rich. It's created by those willing to take the first step. A digital revolution is underway, giving ordinary people unprecedented power. Your bedroom, laptop, phone, and simple ideas are no longer just everyday objects. They're now wealth-generating tools and modern freedom factories. Gone are the days when building an empire required skyscrapers and massive capital. Digital assets have become the great equalizer. Indifferent to your background, education, or privilege, the only thing that matters is the value you produce, and that value can be created from anywhere. These invisible machines of modern wealth work continuously. Videos playing while you sleep, guides selling without your presence, content generating income long after you've closed your laptop. They prove that your time doesn't have to be the source of your income. Your ideas can be. The first step isn't technical, it's emotional. You must believe that your knowledge, experiences, and potential have inherent value. Most people never start because they underestimate their uniqueness, assuming their stories are ordinary. But nothing in your life is truly common when viewed from the right perspective. What feels obvious to you might be a revelation to someone else. What seems simple to you could be a solution for another. Digital wealth begins the moment you recognize the value already within you. Your task is simply to package it. Once you embrace this truth, everything changes. Your voice becomes a resource. Your thoughts transform into raw material. Your creativity becomes equity. You're no longer just using the internet, you're building on it. The next step is choosing your digital assets form. While paths vary, they converge on one destination: scalability. A YouTube video can be watched millions of times without consuming an extra hour of your effort. An ebook can sell globally, working continuously. Digital assets carry an incredible power that transforms how we create, work, and generate value. Unlike physical endeavors limited by personal capacity, the digital world offers infinite potential. Your reach becomes global,
लाइट नहीं आ
and
रही
your
है
opportunities have no ceiling. The journey of building digital assets requires patience and understanding.
क्या बोलते हैं
In the early stages, progress feels slow
ये
and
लवड़े का निकालना
invisible.
पैसा है यार
You'll create content that initially seems unnoticed.
आज ही जाने वाला है क्या वहाँ?
Videos with few views, posts without engagement,
अरे बहनचोद,
products
मेरे
with
को ना
minimal. It's the fundamental process of growth. Every successful digital empire begins in obscurity. Consistency becomes your most valuable asset. Each piece of content, video, article, product, or insight, acts like a brick in your foundation. Some bricks might land softly, others more powerfully, but every single one contributes to the structure. Gradually, these accumulated efforts build something substantial enough to support income and eventually wealth. Automation represents the ultimate transformation of digital assets. Imagine systems that work continuously, sales pages converting automatically,
भाई 100
scheduling
करोड़ चाहिए
tools
मेरे को
posting
पर्सनल
content
ग्रोथ
while you rest, email sequences building
100
trust
करोड़ का
independently,
पोर्टफोलियो होना चाहिए
and
क्या
payment
बोलते हो
systems collecting income instantly. Once automated, your digital assets free your time, allowing you to create, innovate, and expand without trading
अगर आप
hours
लोग
for
बिजनेस
results.
के इसमें हो तो आप
The
लोगों को
magic
पता
reveals
होगा
itself in unexpected moments.
कोठारी
A
कोठारी
payment
गजेंद्र
notification
कोठारी
appears on your
कभी
phone.
देखे नहीं हो तो उसका
New
वीडियो कभी देखना
subscribers populate your platform. Someone from across the
खतरनाक आदमी ना
globe
गजेंद्र कोठारी
messages
भाई
you, expressing gratitude for something you created months earlier. These experiences demonstrate that digital assets generate more than money. They create impact, freedom, and the most precious resource, time. Scaling is the fourth crucial step in digital
भाई
asset
सब
growth.
खतरनाक
When your digital
आदमी
creation
गजेंद्र कोठारी
resonates with 10 people, the goal becomes
ना सिंपल
expanding
वे
to
में
reach
बहुत अच्छे से
thousands.
समझाता है
The digital universe.
कि कैसा करने का क्या करने का नीड वांट्स सब बताता है क्या बोलते हो पब्लिक मैं को स्टार्ट करने का डेली का लाइव में आऊँ चीज़ें चालू करूँ ये जो ट्यून है ना यार पब्लिक ने फाड़ दिया है
हेलो फैमिली, कैसे हो आप सब। आप सभी का स्वागत है वापस आप लोगों के ब्लॉग में। क्या बोलते हो दोस्तों, बड़े टाइम के बाद मैं आया हूँ वापस ब्लॉग में, क्योंकि एक्चुअली मैं हो गया था बीमार, तो मैं कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा था। सर्दी खांसी वायरल हो गई थी, उसके बाद फिर मैं अभी वापस ब्लॉग बनाना चालू करूँगा कुछ दिनों के बाद, लेकिन ब्लॉग बनाना अपना रहेगा कंटिन्यू।
गाइस आप लोगों ने मेरा ब्लॉग नहीं देखा तो जाके देखो अभी खतरनाक खतरनाक ब्लॉग बना रहा हूँ मैं काफ़ी खर्चा होता है एक एक ब्लॉग बनाने के पीछे यार आप लोगों का सपोर्ट ज़रूरी है क्या बोलते हो बाकी गाइस, उसको बोल ही दो। चिपक के बैठो मेरी जान, इट्स ऑल अबाउट द म्यूजिक। हाय हाय हाय, आई हैव सीन योर ब्लॉग्स। क्या बोलते हो भाई, थैंक यू भाई ब्लॉग्स देखने के लिए। कैसा लग रहा है ब्लॉग्स, कमेंट करना। क्या बोलते हो बाकी गाइस। हजार करोड़। क्या बोलते हो पब्लिक। एक नंबर ब्लॉग है भाई मैसी के साथ, भाई एक नंबर। क्या बोलते रमेश भाई, क्या हाल है। क्या बोलते हो, कैसा था एक्सपीरियंस। एक नंबर भाई, एक नंबर। जाके व्लॉग देखो भाई, जो लोग व्लॉग नहीं देखा है मेरा। क्या बोलते हैं भाई लोग, ठंडी ठंडी लग रही है कि नहीं आप लोग को। ठंडी काफ़ी है यहाँ पे। क्या बोलते हो बाकी आप लोग?
Successful business begins with a vision, a dream, and the courage to act on it. But growth isn't just about working harder. It's about avoiding the traps that quietly kill potential. Too many entrepreneurs focus only on what
तेरा
to
एड्रेस का
do
फोटो भेज देना मेरे को।
while neglecting what not to do. Today, I want to share with you the 7 critical things to avoid if you truly want your business to grow and thrive.
गांव का एड्रेस देना।
Growth comes from clarity, strategy, and discipline. It comes from understanding not only how to make money, but also how to protect it, leverage it, and multiply it. Avoiding these pitfalls can save you years of struggle and set your business on the fast track to success. Whether you are starting small or already running a growing enterprise, these 7 lessons will sharpen your mindset, guide your decisions, and help you build a business that doesn't just survive, but thrives. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is thinking that their business exists solely to provide them with a paycheck. They start a business believing that if they work long hours and hustle constantly, the reward will be money in their pocket at the end of the day. While it's true that income is a byproduct of effort, treating your business as a personal ATM severely limits its potential. A business is not a job. A business is an asset, an entity that can grow independently, generate wealth, and create opportunities long after you've stepped away from it. When you treat your business like a job, you tie your freedom to your presence. You become trapped in a cycle where your time is the currency, and every hour you don't work is money you don't earn. This is why so many small business owners feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and stuck. They are working harder than ever, yet their business doesn't seem to grow. Real growth doesn't come from working longer hours. It comes from building systems, processes, and structures that allow your business to function without constant supervision. To start thinking of your business as an asset, you must first change your mindset. Ask yourself, can this business make money without me being involved in every decision, every task, every small detail?
Congratulations. For what?
If the answer is no, then your business is still a job, not an asset.
This audio contains the words of a non-Ismaili brother who has shared his personal experience. Because this recording has become widely circulated, we felt it important to convey its message to you as well. First, listen to the audio. In it, a non-Ismaili recounts how, during a single session, he was blessed with the opportunity to meet Imam Shah Rahim, fulfilling a long-held desire of his heart. The Imam's love and the sincerity reflected in his words not only rejuvenate our own faith, but also deepen the respect we hold in our hearts for our non-Ismaili brothers and sisters.
हुआ ये कि हम लोगों का मल्टी फेथ का सेशन था और मुझे बड़ी एक्साइटमेंट थी कि मैं भी अपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाऊंगा जमात खाने में। मैं सुन्नी मुस्लिम हूँ, मेरी वाइफ इस्माइली है और हमारी शादी को 27 ईयर्स हो गए। तो मेरा शुरू से यही रहा कि मैं हमेशा अपनी वाइफ के साथ चीज़ों में पूछता रहा, काफ़ी इंटरेस्टेड भी रहा और चीज़ें चलती रही, साल गुजर गए। मेरी बड़ी ख्वाहिश थी कि मेरी कभी किसी ऐसे मौके पे मुझे ऐसा हो कि मेरे को नसीब हो कि मैं देख सकूं प्रिंस करीम खान को, और जो ख्वाहिश नहीं पूरी हो सकी। और अब जब हम लोग अमेरिका में तो ये एक मौका था कि विजिट कर रहे थे डैलस को जिनके बाद, और मुझे ये ख्याल आया कि मैं जो अपना नाम रजिस्टर करवाऊं और शायद हो सकता है आपको लगाना पड़ेगा कि मल्टी फेथ सेशन के हम डैलस चले गए उस दिन जब हम लोगों का मल्टी फेथ सेशन था 10th of November, 2 दिन पहले अभी। तो इसको मजीद और शॉर्ट कर देता हूँ स्टोरी। वेट कर रहे थे सब, हम लोग हॉल में थे, बहुत अच्छा ऑर्गेनाइज था, बहुत अच्छा इंतजाम था।
नंबर बताओ तुम्हारा।
फिर थोड़ी देर के बाद जब हम लोग सब अंदर चले गए तो बहुत लंबा टाइम लगा था कि जब हम
जो रिचार्ज मार गए
हॉल में और सारे इन और आउटडोर्स
पैसा भेजने ही वाला है ना वो।
9820 तो खामोशी सी हो गई और उस वक्त हम लोग सब दरवाजे की तरफ
9820863912
और
200 का ना।
फिर वो एंटर हुए,
पहले पैसा मंगा लो ना यार।
हम लोग देखते रहे, इत्तेफाक से इतना क्लोज देखा उनको जब वो डाइस पर आए।
मेरा उधर वीडियो कॉल चालू है,
वहाँ पे आके उन्होंने फिर सबको वेलकम किया, स्पेशली नॉन मुस्लिम्स को वेलकम किया और उनको थैंक्स किया आने के लिए। वक्त ऐसे गुजरा था पता ही नहीं चल रहा था। और हम लोग
दूसरे के मोबाइल से कॉल कर लो फिर, या तो मैं रिचार्ज मार देता हूँ।
सब लोगों को टेबल अलॉट कर दी थी, स्टैंडिंग टेबल थी और साथ में चेयर्स वगैरह भी थी, जिन्हें बैठना है तो वो बैठ जाए। लेकिन जब
शाम को दे देना, ये अभी नहीं मारेगा क्या पैसा?
हाजिर इमाम टेबल पर आएंगे तो आने से पहले जैसे वो हॉल में आते तो आप लोग अपनी अपनी टेबल
मार देगा ना पैसा।
एक टेबल, दूसरी टेबल, तीसरी टेबल, इस तरह करते करते मेरे दिल में जो है वो ऐसे हो रहा था कि कुछ ऐसा हो जाए।
वही बोला ना,
मैं अपना इंट्रोडक्शन ही करवा सकूं, कम से कम मैं उनसे
रिचार्ज वाला नंबर बताओ ना मेरे।
और मुझे उनके साथ बात करने का एक सेकंड का मौका मिल जाए, ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़े ऑनर की बात होगी।
9702035755 200 वाला करो ना।
मैं कैसे समझाऊं, कैसे बताऊं? वो इतने सिंपैथी के साथ, इतनी काइंडनेस, इतना क्या पर्सनालिटी थी, मैं क्या बताऊं, मेरे पास अल्फाज नहीं है। वो बहुत सुकून के साथ हम सबके साथ बातें करते रहे और उस पूरी कन्वर्सेशन के अंदर वो सबसे मुखातिब थे तो कोई भी बोल नहीं रहा था। उसके बाद फिर लोगों ने बोलना शुरू किया। कुछ लोग थे जब हाजिर इमाम ने कहा कि आपके कोई क्वेश्चन वगैरह इस तरह है तो वो करने लगे, अपने कुछ सवाल किए। लेकिन हमारा फोकस चूंकि प्रिंस रहीम शाह की तरफ था तो वो सब बातें हमें कुछ याद नहीं है कि क्या बात हो रही थी, क्या नहीं हो रही थी। मुझे सबका नहीं पता, मुझे तो अपना पता है। मैं तो जब वो जाने लगे तो मेरे दिल ने अंदर से कहा, मैंने कहा ये जिंदगी का शायद पहला और आखिरी मौका है और तुम शायद गवा रहे हो इस मौके को और तुमने बात नहीं की उनसे और तुम्हें मौका नहीं मिला, तो ये बहुत बड़ी बैड लक हो जाएगी। जब वो जाने लगे तो मैंने उनको प्रिंस रहीम शाह को मैंने कहा हिस हाइनेस हाजिर इमाम, भाई आप यकीन करो अली इतना 20-22 लोगों का मजमूआ था, उन्होंने सिर्फ मेरी तरफ देखा कि ये किसने बोला और वो मुस्कुराए और ऐसे आए मेरे पास। यार मैं मतलब आधा फुट भी नहीं होगा फासला। मैंने दोनों हाथ बांधे हुए थे, मैं सर झुका के मैंने उनको कहा, मैंने कहा कैन आई गेट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी
मैसेज नहीं आया भाई, वो रुक के आएगा।
bless and nurani hand on my shoulder so that I could get some blessings from you. खुदा की कसम मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरे पूरे जिस्म के अभी भी रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे हैं।
नंबर बोलूं?
उन्होंने मेरे कंधे पे जैसे ही हाथ रखा, मैला बिल्कुल मेरे साथ थोड़ा सा पीछे खड़ी हुई थी, आधा फुट। मैंने कहा प्लीज माय वाइफ लैला, लैला आगे आओ। वो आगे आई है, उसने रोना शुरू कर दिया कंटिन्यू।
ठीक है, नंबर बोलता हूँ। 30 ना भाई, 98।
बस अभी बात नहीं हो रही है, मैं थोड़ा सा इमोशनल हो रहा हूँ। लैला जो है वो सर पीछे करके वो रो जा रही थी और मैं मुझे कुछ याद नहीं है। उन्होंने मेरे कंधे पे हाथ रखा और बकायदा दबाया। सब प्रयास करते हो ना, 10 सेकंड के लिए हाथ था बोला था मेरे कंधे पे और बस खुदा की कसम मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता मूवमेंट क्या थी। मैं तो नॉलेज नहीं हूँ, अगर आपको कोई जरूरत है मैं इतना देखो, मैं ये
गूगल पे मारना है।
बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं, उन्होंने मुझे प्यार किया, लाइफ में अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है ना, और केयर अबाउट सुन्नी और केयर अबाउट माइकी भूल जाओ। वो रसूल औलादों में चली आ रही है पूरा शजरा। वो अली की रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की औलादी की इमाम हुसैन की
डबल जी आएगा,
भाई अगर दिल्ली बनते
डबल जी दिल्ली ना,
और खाली उनकी औलादों को मिलने का मौका मिल जाता है तो ये हमारे लिए कम है। मैंने कहा भाई इतनी अच्छी आपने इसके लिए मिसाल दे दी है, कौन बेवकूफ़ होगा जो नहीं जाएगा। और मैं क्यों ना अपॉर्चुनिटी, और मैं तो मेरी तो ख्वाहिश थी कि मैं करीब करीब आगा खान साहब से मिलता, सिर्फ देखता, मिलता क्या, मेरी क्या औकात मिलती थी, मैं देख लेता हूँ। वो मैं आज भी उनसे बड़ा प्यार करता हूँ और उनकी बहुत रिस्पेक्ट है, और उनकी जो फरमान है, जो आइडियोलॉजी है, जो उनके जो जिस तरह वो बात करते हैं,
अरे तो जल्दी करो, हाँ तो
वो तो लगता ही नहीं कोई काम बात करते हैं। तो सारी चीज़ें बोल लेती हैं, फिर
आपके नंबर पे डलवा दूंगा।
किया क्योंकि मांगना तो अल्लाह की बात चाहिए। तो ये तो अल्लाह के सबसे प्यारे और सबसे महबूब जो पैगंबर है, ये उनकी औलाद है।
गूगल पे फोन पे
हमारी कहाँ औकात जाकर सके,
डायरेक्ट ये नंबर पे
आया भाई।
नंबर
1600
उनके
है।
पैरों की छूटी के भी काबिल नहीं।
1610 मारो ना।
लेकिन ये कितने बड़े एजाज की बात है।
हाँ ठीक है, क्या करना है, मतलब पैसा उतारना है, क्या करना है?
नंबर दे रही ये नंबर पे
इसका बैंक नंबर क्या है? 2201 अपना ना।